everyone, I'm Shy Sword Girl, and today we're going to be talking about part 2 of my new series of wars that changed the world. Part 2, World War I. World War I. Today we are going to explore World War I, why it happened, and how it changed the world. First up, we need to understand that it started in Europe, which I like to pronounce Europe, like soar up. Serbia was totally rude as hell and tried to steal some land from Austria-Hungary. Yes? Would you like to come up here? Germany was already planning its world domination, and that was before Hitler. So they were just a little flustered, as they say, for quite a while. Back to the Jews. So some guy from Serbia thought it would be a good idea to murder the Austria-Hungary's leader and also his wife, as in Queef. Germany was psyched about this, as they saw this as an opportunity to conquer the world, as one assumes to do, apparently, and they decided to write Serbia a blank check telling them to spend as much cash as they possibly need to, knowing that Daddy would help them. Germany lost because nobody sided with Germany. Who the hell would want them to rule the world? Germany just shouldn't rule the world. The only person I would trust to rule the world would be Lil Nas X, and I don't unfortunately think that that's something he's interested in, so if Lil Nas X is not ruling the world, we don't want it. I've read online that this war has killed 8 million to 20 million people, which is a big difference. So I'm just gonna leave those numbers with you, and let's dive deeper into the war that changed the world. This was right after airplanes were created, so nobody had any crazy air attacks to begin the war. To give you a gist of how that really went, France began with only 140 planes and ended the war with 4,500. The first bomb that was dropped from a plane was dropped from the window of the pilot. Britain had the dominating navy at the time and developed submarine detection technology called U-boats to detect when the Germans were trying to attack under the water. Hinterhältige Schlampe. Hinterhältige Schlampe. Hinterhältige Schlampe. Hinterhältige Schlampe. Hinterhältige Schlampe. Hinterhältige Schlampe. On land, these countries were using poisonous gases as a weapon, and so gas masks were invented. But they didn't work. Well, rarely. A way that they would test them would be on goldfish, which is weird because goldfish, you know. I mean, if you put a disgusting poisonous mask in a goldfish tank, how could it survive? What I'm trying to say, they would test the gas masks on the goldfish. If the goldfish died, that meant the mask was not effective. If they stayed alive, how did this happen? And what drugs were popular at this time? That would be a cool video to talk about the kinds of drugs that soldiers would do. I've heard stories to like keep them fighting and stuff. Okay, on to the Jews. I mean, these guys are like running around, shooting each other, driving tanks, using flamethrowers. I mean, it's just all hell literally broke loose. Just running around with guns. Most of the time, the flamethrowers would just explode and kill everyone in a 20 feet radius. So they quickly turned into a last resort, can't find my gun option. During the war, soldiers would see news reporters running around trying to get coverage on what exactly was happening. Therefore, the soldiers would sometimes use them as target practice. It happens. Plastic surgery was created to help poor soldiers who had their faces burst into smithereens. Here's a list of people who could thank World War I. Khloe Kardashian, John Travolta, Bella Hadid, Dolly Parton, Kylie Jenner. Pam Anderson, the rest of the Jenners, the rest of the Kardashians, and Joe Biden. Blood banks were also created to help soldiers who needed blood. Like 30 countries were involved in this. And it just changed the world forever because now these countries understood that they didn't have to wait for a world war to advance their technology and advance their weaponry. And smaller countries would be screwed from this point on. You're always a big country in my eyes. So guys, what did you think about today's part 2 video? Do you dig World War I? If you do or if you don't, please message me in my DMs and we can talk about life or battles and warriors or whatever the fuck you want. And go ahead, message me in my DMs. I'm Shy Sword Girl on OnlyFans and Instagram. And remember, don't be a bitch. I'm Shy Sword Girl. I'm Shy Sword Girl. I'm Shy Sword Girl. And don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch.